So, good evening, and welcome to another show. And I'm John, and tonight we're going to be speaking about tomorrow's game between Newcastle and Crystal Palace at St James's Park. And I've got someone with us, and his name is Ryan. And Ryan, how are you doing, mate?
Yeah, good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm canny, not very bad. I can't see your screen though.
I know. I don't know what's happened. I'm trying to change my camera settings so you're not just getting the snap camera. Hang on. Keep talking and I'll try.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's fine. No, I just thought I'd get you on the app because you're a Crystal Palace fan, and and just want to talk about all things Crystal Palace at this moment in time. And before I do that, could you please like and subscribe to me channel as well, and also to Ryan's as well. So Ryan, talk about tomorrow's game, and
Yeah,
he had a good win on Saturday against Wolves, and it was a much needed 3 points as well. So how do you think it's going to go? How do you think how are the players going to react tomorrow for the game against Newcastle? Are you feeling confident for the game?
yeah. Like we needed a result because we're about you boys. Playing you boys is the first. We've got a run of 6 games now in February that are basically going to make or break our season. Newcastle, Burnley, Brighton. We just had Wolves. I think it'll be a tight game. I was thinking earlier, getting ready to talking to you. I think we're 2 clubs in very similar places. We're both, we've got a fan base who perhaps have higher expectations of what's realistic. We're both managed by local guys, and we want to kind of go on to the next level, but maybe perhaps we're sort of at the level that we should be at. So I think it'll be a close game. I think the games between us are always quite tight. But yeah, I think we've if we can, I think with us it's about getting the balance of our team right. We sometimes we can look really threatening when we play good football. Other times we can look like we're not going to score all afternoon, and it depends the balance of the team that Roy puts out. So how are you feeling about it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm feeling about there he is. I'm just thinking you're right there. I mean, for tomorrow's game, I mean, we've got Graham Jones as a assistant manager as well, and he's came in and he's sorted out the tactics as well for Steve Bruce, basically. And when I saw the squad on Saturday against Everton, we won 2-0. Wow, he played a 4-3-3, which I'm very surprised. And I thought he looked comfortable after 15 minutes. I thought he looked comfortable. I thought he played really well. I thought the players were up for it. I thought they pressed Everton, which they didn't expect us. They expected to sit back for the whole game, and they actually shocked them. But Jamal Lewis played well for the first time this season. I thought Hendricks was tidy on the ball, which I'm not a fan of. And up front, Almiron was excellent. He ran all over the place on Saturdays. Reverse passing, his speed, he's back to his best. And Callum Wilson scored 2 cracking goals. So I think it's going to be a close game tomorrow. And hopefully, I hope we win tomorrow. But going into the game, I just hope that we get this 3 points, because it's going to be a massive game for us both.
Yeah, Callum Wilson's a good signing for you, I think. Like, he's a kind of player that we were linked with and have talked about signing. Like, Eze has been brilliant for us. Eze is a brilliant player who I actually think is probably the best player we've signed in the last at least 5 years. And I think my thing with him is I rate him so highly that I wonder how long we'll keep him. If everything goes, if he progresses like he can, he won't be with us for long. That's my opinion.
I hope you keep him, because he's a young player, and I think he's going to be destined. I think that's a perfect club for him, man. Easy. I think he's a class act. He's got speed, he's got pace, he's got skill. On his QPR days, I'll tell you something, it was so highly rated. I would love to see this guy play for Newcastle as a young, and I think he would have been made. But he paid quite a bit of money for the guy, and I think he will do bits for you in the next couple of seasons. He's a raw talent. He's not there yet, but at the end of the day, give a couple more seasons and he play for a bigger club, and this guy's going to be going places. I do like him.
What he's done for us as well is he's managed to take the pressure off Zaha, so we look a bit more threatening. That there was a time where if you isolated Wolf, you kind of isolated our attacking threat, and that's still the case, but he just gives us more of an option. I think if Roy manages to latch onto this 4-2-3-1 and make it work with the 2 anchoring the midfielders, And I think with Eze, to get the best out of him, he probably needs to play in that 10 role. And then Will Flights to play on the left. And I think hopefully this lad we've signed from Mainz, Mateta, could be good, because I don't think Batshuayi is going to work out as a permanent signing. And I think Benteke is probably best days potentially behind him. So there's an opportunity there for someone to be a target man for us.
Sure. I mean, Benteke has been watched by West Bromwich Albion as well. He's been linked with them. How far it's going to go, I don't know. And as for this new lad for Mainz, I don't know a lot about this guy, but I heard he's been scored some goals for the German side. And if he comes in and does the business for you sort of thing, yeah, I think it'd be absolutely fine. And Batshuayi, he's just in and out. I mean, he's hardly played. And Newcastle came in for him as well. I'll be disappointed because he hasn't played enough games for us to know what I mean. He hasn't played enough games, and it's so frustrating. And, I thought he was out for Marseille. I thought he was good for Marseille, but I think he needs to wake from your club at the end of the season, if not this win, if we can get there. So,
he was brilliant for us on his first loan spell. He was great, but he's just not managed to convert that into a period of sustained performance. Like he's so in and out. But on his day, he looks brilliant. But I just don't know if I don't know where he goes next, because he's been at Chelsea for so long, and I'm struggling to see where he goes. Like if it doesn't work out with us, which it doesn't look like it's going to.
Nah, it's a shame really, because he's such a talented lad, and we just don't know where he's going to go. I totally agree with you there. I've got Thomas here. Even John, did you hear about Yedlin leaving? Yes, he's gone to Galatasaray, and I wish him all the best in the future. I really do. And he's been playing okay, and he's out of contract at the end of the season. And, it's best for both parties. He went to Turkey now. And Eric, even John, hope you're okay, my friend. And I got Ryan as well. He's a Crystal Palace fan as well. So, yeah. So I was going to say, with Roy Hodgson, I spoke to on yesterday, an American guy. It's on my streams. I've done with him yesterday. And he said about Roy Hodgson should be moved on at the end of the season, is his opinion, get someone young and fresh. Yeah. If Roy decides to leave at the end of the season, or wherever it may be, who would you like to take his place?
There's a few candidates out there. I quite like the idea. I've long been a fan of Eddie Howe's, and I've always thought Eddie Howe would be a good fit for us. I'm sure you as well. Like he's been linked with Newcastle, Celtic. Yeah. I think he would be a good fit for us. I think that's it. You just touched on it, John. Like we need a rebuild in the summer. We've got 11 players out of contract. Roy himself's out of contract. Without being ageist, that is not a job you take on at 73. It's a 3, 4, 5 year job. So I think Roy will move upstairs potentially, or he may just retire. But I think to give him another year is just delaying inevitable of the job that needs to be done, which is a young manager doing a rebuild.
Sure. I thought would he found a place for him. He's been absolutely fantastic for you over the years. He's not going to get you in Europe. He's not going to get you relegated. But the fact is, he's just going to get you mid-table. And as a stepping stone club, I hate to say it, but listen, I mean, your fans are amazing as well, especially at the home end as well. Is it the Homestale end?
Yeah. Homestale fanatic.
You know what I mean? And I got a question. I got Eric here as well. Palace does so much more than Roy, so much potential, then gets overlooked by old school people. We just touched on that. Eddie Howe is going to be watched by Palace if Roy decides to go, and you got managers like Thomas Frank, maybe from Brentford.
Yeah. I think it's a good point. I think that the thing that's changed in our fan base in the last year is, as you said, John, like everyone knows what Roy's good at, where he'll get you, where he'll sort of leave us. I think, and people were grateful for that. The Frank de Boer experiment 4 years ago was really exciting. He'd won the league at Ajax. He was going to come in, revolutionise the academy, the way of playing, and it didn't work. And there was no patience. No one had the patience with it. And I still think there's an appetite to do that. And I think what the fan base have realised is we've got the best squad we've probably ever had in the Premier League era. But we're still where we've always been in the table. And it's a competitive league. We haven't got a divine right to finish any higher than that. But I do think there's a curiosity amongst the fan base as to what another manager could do at this squad.
Sure. You had a very good point there, Ryan. Brilliant point there. Just want to touch on to your guy, Wilfred Zaha. he's been in the club for many a year now, and if you see, really won't he? And is he going to stay? Is he going to go? £60 million being touted. Also, what them Spurs wanted him, and and a couple of clubs from Europe wanted him as well. However, he's stuck with you guys, and was he 28? And
28, yeah, he was 28 in November, so he's not a young man anymore.
I know, but if you're going to make some money on him now, could it be this summer, or would you rather keep him? For me, I'd rather keep him because at the end of the day, I think he loves the club, you know. I think he loves the club. And
you know what? I was talking to someone the other day, and I almost feel like he might have arrived at a place in his mind where he's like in the Shearer or Gerrard mentality that actually to spend the bulk of his career, if not all of his career, at his hometown club is going to be enough for him. Because I think you mentioned £16 million, and I think the problem he's got is he wants to play Champions League football, but he doesn't really want to leave London, which doesn't give you a huge amount of options. And I don't think we put the price tag on him because he's what he's worth to us. I don't think he's worth as much to the clubs that he wants to go to as he is to us, and they're not willing to pay it. So he's a bit stuck.
Sure. I mean, they probably think 60 million is quite high sort of thing, but he hasn't been playing the Champions League as well, which is a shame. Yeah. You could have took that money you could have done and could have got easy for like 20 million, would have made 40 million profits. And I hope we keep the guy on for as much more years to come because he's the main man for our club. And and I have to ask you this question. What has been your best moment being a Palace fan? Your best moment any year?
I suppose best single game was being at the playoff final when we won 1-0 against Watford, where Kevin Phillips, formerly of Sunderland, I won't mention them on your show, John, but scored the penalty for us, and I was there, and that was I think that was extra time as well. So that was best memory. I've got a lot of friends who are Brighton fans, so when Wilfred scored twice and we beat them in the semis 2013, that was pretty high. So it's all been around the playoffs, to be honest. I say to people, you mentioned about Europe earlier, I always think the peak for I think Newcastle with the right owner, and hopefully we'll all be back in stadium soon one day. The right owner with investment, it's not, Newcastle can dream of winning the league or going far in the Champions League. You've been there before. I think for Palace, the peak it could get for me is a Europa League run. Just getting in the Europa League once would be lovely. I think that's where our peak would be. But for now, my best memories are always surrounded by the playoffs.
Good for you. I mean, you've got a good record in the playoffs. You had Ian Holloway, and they had some managers in the past as well, and Steve Coppell and Warnock as well. So I mean, I'd love to be if you can get a takeover, a new owner, Newcastle can go. This is Saudi Arabia, but excuse me, Mike Ashley wants to sell the club. Amanda Staveley wants to buy the club. The problem is, though, the Premier League don't want us to be in the top 6, 7 because they don't want us upsetting the top 6 already. And Richard Masters, the guy's absolutely hopeless. I don't like him, and the job is way out of his depth as well. And I just think at the end of the day, we need us to take over. If you don't get us to take over,
you do.
That's it. We could be slipping out of the leagues, I'm telling you, thanks to the Premier League and Richard Masters as well. And that's what we need. I got even last season, Yedlin has joined Gadtas around the 3. That's been mentioned. And Eric as well. I'll personally cash on Sahar. If it's £56 million, you have easy there. He will eventually grow into a better player than Sahar. And that kind of money can get you 3 quality players.
Yeah, there's definitely a rebuild. There's definitely some wages coming off our payroll this summer. So maybe to that point, I don't think it's going to happen. It's certainly going to happen in the next few hours in this window. But if it happens in the summer, maybe if there's a deal to be done, maybe what they say: if you do all the change at once, maybe it's easier. If a lot's going to change, you might as well change everything.
Totally agree. I mean, when you get that £6 million, he's going to be close on 29. I think it's a canny deal for the end of the day. Yeah. But at the end, listen, it's been a great servant to you as well, as Wilfred. So hopefully,
and he would go if he got a move. He would go with fans' blessing. Like I think this season he's been brilliant again. The season before, last season, he sort of played a bit like someone who was sulking that they didn't get a move. And he sort of put that behind him, and now has sort of been what we know he can be again. So perhaps has probably got a kick up the backside and thinks, right, if I'm going to get a move, I need to show I'm worth it.
That's the thing. You know what it is? I mean, I hope, like I said, that if he plays to his best and gets on with the job in hand, so if you get his move, he sulks and that sort of, you not get the move.
Yeah.
Simple. I got close to the door now. Nobody's paying any money for players right now because of the pandemic. And I can understand why these clubs now don't want to pay that big money when it comes to pandemic. Look at Harry Kane. What's he worth? 200 million. They're not get that. They're not getting that now, like not 200 million. I doubt it. It's 28. I doubt it very much. But just a quick one on my team as well. And I hope Graham Jones came in. He made a difference. Tell him to boost to play a 4-3-3. And I don't know if you see the clip on Saturday. Graham Jones has got like this, clapping, shouting and that. And Steve Bruce looked absolutely shifty. He did not like it at all. And he was asked the questions today that Graham Jones had any input today in the game. And Steve Bruce just said, you tell me. And he was being very arrogant to the media today. And he don't come out and say things like that. Because without Graham Jones, right, making that tweak in the tactics, Steve Bruce would have had a 5-4-1 and he would have lost that game on Saturday. That Graham Jones' made a huge difference. Okay, it wasn't a success story at Luton Town, but he's a fantastic coach. But as a number one, I'm not sure at this moment in time. But I'd like to see Graham Jones number one at Newcastle and see what he does if Steve Bruce does get a sack, and I hope he does.
I was going to ask your opinion, but you've just given it to me.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say as well, but so I know you're not going to be here very long, but I was going to say, what do you think the score's going to be tomorrow?
All right, score prediction. I don't think there'll be many goals. I don't think that would be a surprise to you or us, John, just with our goal scoring records. I'm going to say a 1-1 draw. I don't think there's ever more than 2 or 3 goals when we play each other. So I personally, I'd be happy with the draw.
I'll be happy with the draw as well, but we need to win that game because Brighton won the game on Sunday.
Yeah. Still punching up a little bit, isn't it?
I know, it's bunched up at this moment in time. You've got Burnley's winning games. Brighton's just winning games. So they won twice in 3 games now, you know. Fulham's struggling and West Brom's struggling. And if we win tomorrow, then I think we'd be absolutely happy with the one. I'll go for a 1-0 win tomorrow. I really do.
Yeah, I think that's very possible.
Very possible. A draw will be good. I'd take that. But, you know, and who do you think is going to be... and do you think he's going to stay, Roy? Is he going to go out the summer? Do you think he's going to stay next season?
Roy will have some sort of role with the club beyond this summer. I don't think it will be the manager or he will retire. I think of all the outcomes, the least likely one is another year contract for Roy. I don't think that's in anyone's interests. Yeah, but he goes with thanks for what he's done. But I think it's just where the club's at. It's a timing thing.
Sure. Brilliant. So we'll just see what happens on Tuesday night. Got Holly saying 1-0 to Newcastle. Are we the lads? And Tom says 2-1 to Newcastle. Are we the lads? So I think you have voted, my friend. Unless I come on your channel.
Yeah. I'll take that.
Sure. Well, listen, I know you haven't got long, so I'm going to let you go. And did you enjoy coming on the channel? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it's great. It's great. Yeah. Really, I really like what you're doing. Seems to be going really well as well.
Yeah, I mean, I've got 333 subscribers at this moment in time, and I've only done this since January, December, probably. And I just rock it up as well and enjoying it, and it takes patience. I love to get 1,000 at the moment, but I'll be happy getting 500 at the stage and then build up on that and just do some more content. And I'm enjoying it. So listen, I'll let you get away because I know you're a busy guy, and hope you enjoy the game tomorrow. And thanks for joining us, my friend.
Yeah, John. Nice to speak to you. All the best.
You too. See you soon.
Good, mate. Thanks.
Yes, bye. Bye. That's Ryan, and he's a Crystal Palace fan, and he said he could only do 20 minutes, which is fair enough. And he sees a great guy, and yeah, I mean, big Palace fan, and he wants to win tomorrow. So if you do like me videos, could you please like and subscribe to us, and also just leave a comment as well. I'm going to be back in a minute, Ashley, and do my press conference reaction. So I'll have a little bit of 10-minute break. I'm going to be back in the press conference reaction and see what Steve Bruce has to say today. But there's 1 or 2 things could be a bit prickly. So listen, I'll let you get away, and I'll see you back in the next 10, 15 minutes or so. And until then, thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.